It's about that time of day again here, boys and girls. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's the 8th day of the 7th month of 2014. Welcome to your nightly newsletter for the 8th of July, 2014. We made it through another day, a very exciting day. What a big day we had today in our live trade room. Able to catch the entire move down on the Russell today. I was expecting a bullish move back up today on the Russell, but the best part about being wrong is that you can instantly change your bias, and we went right on down with it. So a very good day today. Even though we were originally expecting to see some buyers entering on the Russell, that clearly didn't happen, and we made our money going right along with those sellers all the way down. I got a lot of exciting material to go over with you guys tonight on this nightly newsletter. In tonight's newsletter, we're going to make sure we know what happened today, right? That way you can impress all your friends about your extensive knowledge about what happened on our favorite markets today. We're then going to take a look at what's happening for tomorrow. We'll go over the news we have for tomorrow. We got some important news coming out tonight in China, more important news tomorrow morning in Europe, and then we got some very big news tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon in the U.S. Second thing we'll do is we'll take a look at tomorrow's news. Third thing today, we'll roll up our sleeves. We'll put together some strategies for whatever the market does tomorrow. By the end of this newsletter video tonight, you will know exactly what happened today. You'll be ready for the news tomorrow, and you will be locked and loaded no matter what happens. Whether we go up, we go down, we go sideways, it doesn't matter where we go, you will be ready for tomorrow. I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I know we got we had a World Cup soccer game or football game match. Hold on, let me correct myself. We did have a football match, right? I'm of course in the U.S. We call it a soccer game here in the U.S. Want to make sure I'm doing it correctly. I'll tell you, that Brazil team, they could sure use some help right about now. Anyways, back to the action here. Before we jump in and grab these charts here this evening, I want to remind you guys to follow the link below the video if you're not watching this blog right now over at sidewaysmarkets.com. Make sure you get over to sidewaysmarkets.com, our day trading blog. Why? Why should you follow the link below the YouTube video? Here's why, my friends. 3 reasons why. First of all, on our blog right now, below this video on our blog at Sideways Markets, you're going to see a link to download today's charts. See, these charts aren't just a bunch of, smoke and mirrors and shenanigans here at Sideways Markets. We're going to use these charts tomorrow morning in my trade room. We did today, we did the previous day, we do it every day. So members and guests and non-members, pause the video right now. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Pause the video and then double-click on that link, run that download those charts, and bring them with you tomorrow into my trade room because we're going to be using them. This is your roadmap for tomorrow. So download those charts. That's the first thing. The second thing, upper left-hand corner, I've got a special free pass for you guys and gals to come out and join me in my live trade room tomorrow afternoon or any day this week in the afternoon. I would be honored to show you how simple this really is. You already know the newsletter stuff makes money. You already can see with your own 2 eyes. You can see how effective our analysis is. Now I want to show you how easy it is for us to use that analysis to make profit, right? No. See, that's where we're different. I'm not like Bloomberg. I'm not like CNBC. I actually trade this stuff too. I know, right? Pretty interesting, huh? I give you the information on our blog, and then we actually use the information in real time, not in hindsight, in my trade room tomorrow morning. Pretty cool, huh? I have a special invitation for you guys to come out and see me. Take me up on that offer, upper left-hand corner. Third thing, and then we're grabbing charts. Lower left-hand corner here. If you want to make sure that you never miss a newsletter, if you want to make sure you no longer have to go reloading the blog or babysitting the YouTube page, just give me your name and your email address, and I'll shoot you over an email every evening before 8 p.m. when I send out my nightly newsletter. How easy is that? So if you're not watching this video on our blog right now, get over to sidewaysmarkets.com, download the charts for today, join the free pass, and register for your nightly newsletter mailing list. And while you're there, don't forget to tell a friend about this, right? Don't hog all this good info for yourself, and I'll let you guys indulge in all the great stuff we have here on the blog. Enjoy. Give me a call anytime if you need more help. All right. Seatbelts on, helmet, mouth guard. You stretch. You well hydrated? You get some coconut water maybe, some chia seeds, some green tea. Okay, good. Let's get started. First things first here today. What happened in the market today? What happened in the market today? Well, we still got the gold sitting here quiet as a mouse right now. Boy, this gold is trading sideways, sitting here right inside. And you can see here my notes on this daily chart of gold. Gold today here, basically sitting stuck at the highs, right, of that bear channel. We get a lot of support levels below us, as you can see us, right? Got a lot of support levels here at 95, 87. So we're just waiting for this gold to finally get going somewhere. Top of the channel, you can see we're at a sell zone right now. It looks like we have a bit of a head and shoulders pattern forming on these daily candles. So my gut tells me we eventually collapse. But the problem is we've got all this stuff happening in this world of ours right now, and who the heck knows what could be around the corner tomorrow. So as I always say, my gut is not a trading strategy. So although I do see it going lower here, I will be open-minded to any direction right now. If it does push higher, I've got long-term levels overhead. If it pushes lower, I've got levels below, right? So we know what we're dealing with, but we are stuck in the mud here on the gold. Moving forward here on the gold, we see here now a little bit faster time frame, right? Let's get ready for tomorrow. What do we have here? We have a range-bound market here on gold, right? That range-bound market, as you can see, I've got buy zones down below me. I have sell zones up above me. I've got a trend line cutting it right through the middle there. That will be support. So really what the big deal right now is we get a range-bound market. We're trading in a sideways trend. We're slightly bullish, as you can see, right? Slightly bullish here in the price action. Now, again, other folks may look at this and say, no, Joe, this is a head and shoulders pattern here. We're going to collapse. So it's, as you can see, we're pretty balanced right now. Right now, we're going to be looking to buy the lows, 1311, sell the highs, 1329.4. Stay the heck away from the middle, right? Don't fiddle with that middle. And then, very important, if we do push to new highs, once we get above this 32 area, I've got to be looking for a fake out breakout. Okay, that's the big thing you got to be worried about right now. If we end up going to new highs here, you've got to be expecting a possible fake out breakout. So rather than buying the highs, I'm going to buy on a pullback after we make the new high. That way, I don't have to risk getting caught up in that fake out breakout, right? So don't buy the high. Same thing is true to the downside. If we go lower, my line in the sand here is 1305.4. Get below 1305.4, I will be looking for the fake out breakout. And when I say that, what I mean is that if price goes below 1305.4, if we don't get the continuation lower, what I'll be looking for now is for price to go right back in, and then I'm buying that low. So you got to remember, this is the range we're in right now on gold, right? There's your range. I don't care what your indicators say, that's what the price says. So that's my range, which means I'm going to be looking for buying opportunities at the lows, selling opportunities at the highs. But remember, if we do see this thing just take off to the upside, I will wait for the pullback, and once it starts going higher again, then I know this is not a fake out breakout, and I'm looking long. Same thing to the downside. Below the 1305.4, if I see it continue, right, I'll let it break out, then wait for the retracement. Anything below this 1305.4, I'm looking to get short. I got targets below me here at 96.5, 87.5, and 60.5. Now, moving higher here, you can see all I've got overhead right now is at 44.6. So reference those daily chart levels I just gave you. All right, on the daily chart right now, the next target overhead is at 1361.2. Okay, that was the level off the daily chart. So you can see, got a lot of room there to push higher. So those are our targets above. Now let's go one step faster here and let's really dig into this thing. Because if you're looking for scalping opportunities going into tomorrow, this is going to be the chart you're going to want to use. I still have that level, as you can see overhead. We still have that 32 to 29.4, so we still have that resistance area. Gold's in a range-bound market. I want to buy at the lows, sell at the highs. So I'm looking to buy at these lows. I'm looking to sell at these highs. Stay the heck away from the middle. But like we always say, price goes lower, I'm waiting to buy it. Price goes higher, I'm waiting to sell it. Make those buyers tell you differently. Make those sellers tell you differently. Prove it to me, gold. Prove it to me that you really have the cojones, right, to get moving here. Until this thing starts to trend, we're going to be buying lows and selling highs and staying the heck out of the middle until it stops working. Be on the lookout for fake out breakouts. And what I mean by that is that just when you think this thing's got you beat to the upside, get ready, it will fail and come right back down. Same thing to the downside. Just when you think it's making its run, it goes right back above the trend line and then we'll buy it. So be suspicious of those breakouts right now. Stay away from the middle, and you are borderline crazy. Okay, we're talking straight jacket, padded sell, right, helmet on, crazy if you're buying highs and selling lows right now on gold. It's not going to be forever, but right now that's the scenario on the gold. All right, so now you know what the plan is on the gold. I've got levels down bottom here, right, buying lows, buying lows, buying lows. Selling highs, selling highs, selling highs, selling highs. Stay the heck away from the middle, right? We know the plan now. Don't forget, if you want real-time trade calls, if you want exact entries on this, you know where to reach me. I'll be in my trade room all day tomorrow. Come out and join me, and I'll give you real-time updates. Before we jump into the rest of this, oh, sorry about that. Excuse me. I'll do the news at the end here for you guys today. Here's my Russell. Let's take a look at our daily chart on the Russell. Now remember, this is the big picture chart. This is the bird's eye view. Now if you remember, in last night's newsletter, we had pulled back about this far. And I said, all right, we got some symmetry here. We've got some support here. I was expecting that profit taking would be gobbled up by those buyers and right back headed towards those highs. Guess what? I was wrong. Being a day trader is the best industry, it's the best job in the world, because I've never seen another job where I can be wrong and still get rich. Yeah, you're right, I was wrong. I was expecting price to go right back up. So boo-hoo, oh, I'm so embarrassed, I was wrong last night. Let me wipe my tears with $100 bills, all right? I'll admit I'm wrong all day long, because when I know I'm wrong, that tells me that trade potential has become invalid. And when it becomes invalid, when I stop thinking buys and I start thinking sells, guess what? I don't care what direction I go in. There's no first prize for being right. Do you think they pay the guys on CNBC when they're right? Of course not. They don't. Right? Nobody cares about being right. In fact, my good friend Paul Tudor Jones is notorious for saying that once you make it successful in your trading career, nobody cares how many times you were wrong. All right? Nobody cares. All I care about is what was my P&L at the end of the day. So once we saw this thing start to collapse again today, it was relatively easy. I took off my buyer's hat, I put on my seller's hat, and I looked for specific setups. I'm going to show you guys those in a moment. As you can see right now, though, Russell has made it very interesting. The plot just thickened a little bit here on the Rusty. Here's why. First of all, it's very easy to see what happened. We made all-time highs. We collapsed off the all-time highs. It's profit-taking. Okay, the world is not coming to an end. It's just profit-taking. Okay, smart traders know all-time highs. Cash that paycheck. But here's the thing that throws me a little bit of a curveball. First of all, we're bouncing right off the channel low, right? Channel support, trigger zone support. Okay. Now, look at this big wick we have here. Okay, the big wick you see here on the daily chart, what does that tell you? It tells us that the buyers, well, it tells us one of two things happened. it tells us, first of all, the sellers did not hold on to those contracts into the close. If they did, we would have closed at the lows. It would have been a full-bodied red candlestick. It may have also been buyers entering the market, right? Remember, this could be either lack of sellers or strength from the buyers. Unless we really dig into the volume analysis, which I'll save for my training classes, I'll teach you all about volume analysis, but we've only got a few more minutes on this newsletter. So we'll save that for their time. But we know we do have a big wick on this daily candle. And it looks like, out of the range that we had today, doesn't it look like that candle closed right in the middle? Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and say this again. Profit taking at the highs, support at the lows. I couldn't tell you here tomorrow where we go next. This is a tough one. And when you see the next chart, you're going to really see why the buyers are ready. The buyers are locked and loaded right now. The minute I get a whiff of those buyers coming back on tonight or tomorrow morning, I'm jumping right back to the buy side again. You better believe that. But the sellers, though, the sellers are going to be waiting. The sellers are going to be waiting for price to go up a little bit and then look out below, right? A big sell back down. So we have a very important transitional area right here. All right, I'm telling you right now, I'm expecting some very sloppy price action tomorrow on the old Rusty. And here's why. Looking at my 32 anchor chart right now, the Russell is in transition. Okay, we can see your upper left-hand corner. We did collapse off the highs, right? We did. We collapsed off those highs. Profit taking, there was no buyers there to hold it up. But here's the deal, though. We're right in this major support zone. We also saw how we tagged the channel lows on the daily chart. So we got some major support below us. We've got major resistance here above us. And here we have this transitional area right here. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, and remember, this can all change overnight. So if you want real-time updates on this, come and see me tomorrow morning. I'll give you the walkthrough in real time. But the sellers, we know right now, a smart seller right now is going to wait to get short after a retracement. The move lower today was too much. Okay, the only people selling right now are going to be panic sellers or rookie traders who have no idea why it's not a good idea. If I'm going to sell, I want to sell where? At a premium. So if you're bearish right now on the Rusty, right, like many of you I'm sure are, we want to look to sell up around that 1186. But what if we're bullish? Well, if we're bullish right now, we're ready to buy right now, right? Where do I like to buy? At a discount. I buy at the lows. I buy at support. I buy at a discount. Where are we right now? On the daily chart, I'm at the lows of that channel. On my 32 anchor, here I am at trendline support, at trigger zone support. We are well oversold. We're priced at a discount. So I can easily see short-term buying up to that 86.3. But then that's where the hard work begins, because that's where we're going to see if these sellers, we're going to see what they're made of, right? Because if those sellers are as strong as they might be here, again, you know, there's always a possibility this profit taking may turn into reversal. So we'll be open-minded to that. But I'm telling you right now, though, I would expect some sloppy price action on the Russell going into tomorrow morning, all right, into tonight. Here's my fastest anchor chart here for this evening. If you're looking to buy right now on the Russell, you can see I've kind of highlighted a little bit of a channel I've got going on here. Stay focused on buying the lows of that channel, all right? Remember, don't just jump in long. Find what? The trend, the setup, the pattern. The trend, the setup, the pattern. Trend, setup, pattern. Follow that sequence, and you'll always be safe, right? Yeah, you'll take fewer trades, but you'll do it the right way. So as I'm looking to buy here right now, I have targets overhead. I've got 76.8. I've got 79.8. I get 83.3. Those are going to be my buyer targets overhead. Okay, so look for those to be your targets. The biggest target here, if you're curious, is going to be the 83.3. Right? The big target overhead is the 83.3 because that comes from this area overhead. Okay? the next thing is that now you can see here now, there is that seller, what I would assume to be the best place for those sellers to jump in. So looking at this going into tomorrow, we have to assume we're going to get some buyers here. Okay, the equity markets, the fundamentals are still the same. Okay, nothing's changed. But the difference now is we had this huge drop here today. And whenever we see these big drops, right, the Russell moved quite a bit today. We made a killing on this thing on the way down. All right, once we broke below that support zone we put on last night's newsletter, it was off for the races going lower. So we shifted to selling off here pretty quick on the Rusty. But as I've showed you already, we got some reasons to be a little bit, I don't want to say concerned, but let's be patient going into tomorrow until we realize who really has control right now. We definitely can't assume this bearish move continues. All right, because again, you saw where we were on that daily chart. You saw that big candlestick closing the wick up, right? So remember, these are the reasons why I'm suspicious that this sell-off may have come to an end here. But again, I can't predict. I'm going to react. Right now, I'm looking for short-term buys. I got targets overhead, 76, 79, 83. Once I get up here, though, to this 86.3, this is where all hell's going to break loose if these sellers want to put up a fight. Because remember, as of right now, we can write all this move lower on profit taking. But if they defend this 86.3, right, if these sellers defend the 86.3, now this ain't no profit taken. All right, this is now a reversal. So my line in the sand right now is this area right here. I'm going to be looking very closely here for a failure and then a short, all right, if we get there tomorrow. But I'm telling you guys, big range today, crazy range on Russell today. It may be a range-bound day tomorrow. So kind of adapting to that, if we do see a range-bound day tomorrow, and again, it will happen overnight, right? It will develop overnight. You'll see the highs and lows made in, and tomorrow morning, when I open up my trade room, if we see a range-bound market, we got to remember, don't force the breakouts, okay? Big move today, oftentimes going to be a narrow move for tomorrow. So don't say I didn't warn you. And once again, if you're looking for real-time updates, if you want to see exact entry prices, if you want to see specific instructions on exactly what to do and when to do it, you've got to be a member. Come on in and join me. All right? You already know this stuff works. You've seen this over and over and over again. What are you waiting for? So, moving on now. From the mighty Russell to the mini or to the mighty Crude, the black gold here, right? The Texas T. Now, this Crude certainly is acting a little bit funny right now, isn't it? It's almost like the markets are still hung up on this little ISIS crisis, right? It's I kind of make fun of it because, you know, well, everyone panicked when this whole thing happened, and everybody who knew what they were doing made their money on the way back down, right? As yours truly did. So what we're looking at right now is we've pulled back. It only takes one whiff of another crisis, and we'll be right back to 107.45 again. So we're really in a tough spot here right now on Crude. You can see we've really been consolidating right around this 104.28 to 103.53. Now zoom in on this chart, and what do you see right here, boys and girls? That is a doji, right? That is a doji you can see right there, right? In other words, the opening price is pretty much equal to the closing price. There is absolutely no body to that candle. It's all nothing but wick, okay? Now, tomorrow, we've got inventories, Wednesday morning for Crude inventories. So this could get shaken up here nicely. But as of right now, though, this market is completely balanced. We get a big doji candle on the daily candle today, the 1440 minute. That's how many minutes are in one day. We're sitting right at the lows of this channel. We're still stuck in the same spot we were this time last week, pretty much this time last week. And so we're waiting here to see who's going to be in control next. Again, if we get a whiff of another crisis, we're going to start pushing higher here again. All right? If we don't, if there's no fear mongering out there fanning this fear flame, okay, say that 10 times fast, by the way, kind of party is this? Well, if we don't get something new here to be scared of, let's put it that way, we're going to start collapsing here. I've got 102.67, I've got 101.28, and then I don't think we're going to get there before now and tomorrow, but 97.75 will be all the way down. So right now we're waiting on news from Iraq. We're testing channel lows, which is a buy. We're testing the support zone, which is a buy. But again, if we don't get something soon, this is going to keep on cruising down here. You can see it keeps on grinding lower. It almost feels like every day that passes, one more person says, oh yeah, I guess the world's not coming to an end. Huh, okay, I'll be a seller now. It almost feels like we're recruiting people from the dark side one by one every day, and we're just kind of grinding lower here. But I'm telling you right now, even though I enjoy cheering on the sellers right now, you've got to be a realist, and you've got to run this business like a business, and you've got to be aware that this could go right back up again. All right, so be aware if we go sideways, if we go lower, if we go higher. So let's be ready for anything. What's my next step here on the crude? Let's jump in now to my 32 anchor. Crude oil now pushing lower. We can see that. But here's the problem. Are you ready? I know. Many of my students already know this one, right? This is when we cue the theme music, right? Wah, wah, wah. This is not exactly the best place to be trading. Why not? Because we're at the lows of a bear channel, right? Didn't your mom teach you this when you were a kid? Right? Stay the heck away from the middle in a sideways range. Be aware that the lows of a bear channel and the highs of a bull channel, they're going to be bad news, right? You don't want to be hanging out trying to force a trade short at the lows of a bear channel. You do not want to be trying to force the trades long at the highs of a bull channel. So what I see right now on crude oil is that we are in a very difficult spot right now, kids. We're right at the lows of this bear channel. So the smart sellers out there, the smart traders out there are drooling over a short at the highs. 104.28, 104.58. Okay, so that's where I'm looking for the best opportunities to get short. If we do happen to sell off here, I've got targets down bottom here. Now remember, the low of this channel will continue to be a target, right? You got to use the low of that channel here until it breaks. 102.47, 101.83. That's my short selling target on the way down. And I'm looking for the shorts here at 104.28 and 104.58 up to 105.01, 105.26. All right, guys? So that's where I'm looking to get short here on crude. Let's go one time frame faster, though. Let's go one chart faster. Here's going to be a little bit more information for you now as far as what we're looking at more short term. Now, again, I'm gonna give you a word of caution right now. Be careful trying to sell here right now. You're at the lows of a bear channel. Be careful, okay? I'm not joking. It is not easy trading at the lows of a bear channel. The next thing is you can easily see here, we're below all the key moving averages. We're making lower highs and lower lows. So kids, there is no reason why you can't be a seller right now. So I have 3 steps to success. What was the first one? Trend. What's my trend? It's down, right? I get a red cloud, I got lower lows, I got lower highs. Done. Step number 2. Where's my setup? Now what's a setup? Think of a setup like a play in football or soccer, right? I take the ball here, I pass it over to you, right? You dribble the ball down here, I move over here, and you pass me back the ball, right, and I put it in the net, okay? That's like a play in football or a play in soccer or in basketball or whatever sport you want to use the analogy for, okay? It's like a setup, right? It's where we're going to have the best opportunity to score a goal. Think of a setup like a play in football. It's where we can give you the ball where you have the highest likelihood of scoring, right? With the least amount of defense and the most amount of offense. So I'm looking for a setup. Where's my setup going to be? Okay, top of it, right? Trend line, symmetry, trigger zone, channel, trigger zone. Okay, so right now, all I need is a setup. Now, if you're not a member with me, you've never learned the 10 different setups that we use. So again, what are you waiting for? right? Every day that you're not a member with me is one more day that you're missing out on all this opportunity. So I'm going to teach you the different setups. No, I'm not going to give them away to you here right now. I'm going to make you come in and join as a student for that, right? I didn't say I was that smart, but I'm not a dummy either. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait here now for price to get off these lows, which it is right now, and get short. So right now, although I do have a very big red flag being at the lows of this bear channel, I am free right now to start selling short. I would look for shorts though, trend line, 104 symmetry, and then of course we already talked about this 104.28 and 105.01. Right? Those are the same levels from the 32 anchor. So be careful here at these lows, but as long as I'm still making lower lows and lower highs here, I'm below all the key moving averages. All I need now is the entry pattern short. I'm telling you to be careful, and I'm also telling you to stay patient for the best areas to sell short. If you want real-time updates on that, though, if you want exact trade calls, come out and see me in tomorrow's trade room. Last but not least here, now that you know the plan for the trades tomorrow, here's what's on the schedule for the news. Tomorrow morning here, hold on, back up here. Tonight, we have major news coming out of China. We've got 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, right? In just a few hours, we've got news coming out of China. Be aware of that, guys. That's going to get this market moving in the overnight session. So the reason why I do these anchor charts for you is so that if you're in Shanghai, if you're in Sydney, right? If you're in anywhere in Asia, Australia, you now have the tools you need to be trading this right now. Okay? Second thing is that tomorrow morning, we're going in here now at 3 a.m. We've got home price index out of Great Britain. That's a red star news at 3 a.m. Be ready for that. That will get the markets moving tomorrow morning early in the London session. I get a relatively important news number at 8:15 out of housing starts out of Canada. So keep an eye on crude. Keep an eye on natural gas, right? Our friends due north, right? Our friends in Canada, they have a huge natural resource sector of their economy. So that will be something that will move all of the natural resources. Again, think of it, if it comes out of the ground, right, it'll be moving after that news tomorrow in Canada. Most important thing, though, that I see is that we've got inventories here at 10:30 tomorrow morning, and we've got FOMC meeting minutes at 2 o'clock. So tomorrow, looking at our news in the U.S. tomorrow morning, we got some, again, it's red star news, but it shouldn't be a huge mover. Those housing starts from Canada. I'm looking at this inventory number at 10:30, and then we've got 2 o'clock FOMC meeting minutes. Let's talk about that briefly here. First of all, when it comes to crude inventories, be careful trading crude before 10:30 tomorrow. So once again, we talked about this already. Crude is already in a very difficult spot right now. If you're not seeing good personality tomorrow, don't force it before 10:30. And if you're wondering, what does he mean by personality? You need to come in and become a student, all right? If I say bad personality and you don't know exactly what I'm talking about, you need to be in my trade room tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. so I can go over that with you in real time, all right? So come join as a student. I don't know what you're waiting for, all right? Every day that passes, you're probably losing more money in your account, and you're not making the money that we are every day in our trade room, all right? It baffles me to think why you keep doing that, all right? So join the trial. I'll prove it to you in real time, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so 10:30 a.m. tomorrow morning, inventories on crude. It's impossible to tell what the reaction will be after 10:30. So I will be waiting patiently after 10:30 to trade the reaction. I will also be looking very carefully at the market's personality tomorrow morning on crude before the opening bell. Because if we're not getting the personality, we're already at the lows of that bear channel. Got to be careful on crude tomorrow morning. Then be aware, tomorrow morning will come to an end early because of the FOMC meeting minutes at 2 o'clock. Whenever we have news, whether it be meeting minutes, whether it be FOMC day, they've got the beige book at 2 o'clock sometimes, right? So no matter what the scenario is, if we have news in the early afternoon, you are going to have all the pit traders, all the electronic traders will go to lunch early so they can come back and trade that news report. So be careful tomorrow going into 11 o'clock. Don't be surprised if the personality slows down tomorrow morning, late in the morning, so 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, a little bit before when the normal lunchtime sets in. Alrighty? And then tomorrow night, we have major news for 8 o'clock and 9:30 out of Australia. So we'll talk more about the news tomorrow night in tomorrow night's newsletter. So most important thing I want you to be aware of tonight for the news is that we've got news starting right now at 9:30. We've got news at 3 o'clock tomorrow morning. Then we've got news at 10:30 a.m. and 2 p.m. tomorrow in the U.S. session. Be careful with crude ahead of inventories. Wait for the reaction, trade the reaction, and be aware you're probably going to see the morning session come to a close a little bit earlier ahead of that early afternoon news. So grab lunch early, come back for the FOMC meeting minutes, and trade the reaction after 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Guys and gals, I want to thank you so much for being a part of our newsletter here this evening. I want to encourage you, head on over to SchoolOfTrade.com, join our free trial. You're going to learn more in that free trial than you're going to get anywhere else you're going to pay for. I can guarantee you that. And while you're there, check out our beginner, intermediate, and advanced level memberships. We created SchoolOfTrade.com over 10 years ago. We just celebrated our 10-year anniversary. We created this website because we wanted to be the industry standard for learning and earning online, and we do that every single day with our members. I want to thank you so much for being a part of this newsletter. Don't forget to share this with a friend and come out and see me tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time in the trade room, or grab that free pass and come out and see me tomorrow afternoon, and we'll show you everything in real time. Thank you so much, guys. Signing off from a now beautiful afternoon here in Los Angeles, California. My name is Joseph from the entire team here at School of Trade headquarters in LA. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Adios, amigos. Bye-bye for now.